Boom, we're rolling out of the shot. Welcome everyone, Maté talk time. Hope everybody is doing well. Quick apology. I really wanted to respond to all those messages that I received last week. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to. It was, we were wrapping up all things tennis, and I don't know if you guys saw the final. How incredible Italy represent. I mean, young Sinner, 22 years old. 22 years old, this young man. And he was incredible. Honestly, I don't know if you're into tennis. I'm not a huge tennis fan. I have to be completely transparent on that. I love being there. I love the atmosphere, the carnival, the energy and the intensity of the event. However, this game was exceptional. This game was off the hook. So what an awesome way to finish what was a fun event for all of us. Okay, let me begin. So I've been testing a new fragrance. Sorry, I wanted to go back. I'm sorry. I wanted to write to everybody, all the comments that came through. I did read them. Thank you so much for your input. There is a mission. This Maté talk, I'm going to respond to everybody. So if there's 100,000, I'm going to be in trouble, but I'm going to respond to everybody. All right. So you put a comment in. I promise that you will get a response. I'm testing new fragrance today, and this one is by Pierre Guillaume. I'm a big fan of Pierre Guillaume. Pierre Guillaume cannot make a mistake anywhere in my book. So this will be a little bit, so just be heads up, all right? So just to warn you that I'm a big Pierre Guillaume fan. And as you can see behind me, I'm a big Xerjoff fan. Today, I'm pretty excited about what I'm about to share. Oh, there it is. So I've been testing this one here. This is called Liqueur Charnelle. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's been recommended to me by a number of people as a beautiful, boozy fragrance. Now, in my true testing fashion, I don't know any notes, all right? So this is a disclosure or a disclaimer that the notes that I'm about to talk about are only my impressions. I don't know if that exists in the actual fragrance, but this is what I get. Normally what I do, so this one I'm putting automatically, so a quick heads up, it's an NMT, so I need more time with this particular fragrance. In testing, it has been pretty hot here. This is not a warm weather fragrance, not for me at least. This would be perfect for winter, so for me, I'm putting a pin on this particular fragrance. Would I include it in my collection? I think long term, the short answer would be yes. In the short term, I want to see how it performs in cooler weather and things of that nature. As I said, I've been testing in heat and it doesn't quite work as well. Now, for those who are not familiar with this fragrance, you want to know a little bit more. To my nose, this is an unclassic boozy fragrance. I think that's the best way to describe it. Let me just organize myself. I find that it has, see, I guess when I think of a boozy fragrance, I want that sort of that beautiful, that booziness to come out really quickly, and I want fruit notes or honey notes or things of that nature. Whereas here, what comes out very quickly are these herbal-like spicy notes. And I'm getting, even as I sprayed it before and I was talking, I am getting like a slight licorice sort of component there. There is a herbalness in there. Sometimes I get like a nutmeg, other times I get like a black pepper. There is some level of spiciness in that opening. It only lasts for the opening itself. It does begin to settle down. I find that as it begins to settle, it goes into this dusty sort of incense-like. Eventually, so I'm gonna say about 30-40 minutes deep, I'm getting the boozy. So it doesn't pay off very quickly, and I think maybe that's probably my preconceived when I first started testing. I was expecting like a 1270 by Frappin, where it's just boom, it's boozy and it's fruity and it's, you know, liqueur-like. With a name like Liqueur Charnelle, I really thought instantly I was going to get this beautiful booziness. That's not the case. It is a nice, now one thing about it, it does last a long time. I thought I lost the fragrance for about 6 hours in. One evening I was sort of shutting down for the day, brushing my teeth, stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, I just smelled the fragrance. And this would have been close to 10, 11, 12 hours later in the day. I had placed it on my chest and on my hand. On my hand I couldn't detect anymore, but the smell on my actual clothing itself was pretty good. I'm getting, as I'm talking now, as I'm waving around, I'm getting notes again. It does, anyway. NMT. I need more time. So there are moments that I really enjoy, and there are moments that I'm not so sure about, which is, whenever I find a fragrance that puts me in this place of, I was gonna say, not insecurity, but no man's land, like do I like it, do I don't like it, I actually like to explore that further. One thing is clear, summer is not the right place for this fragrance, so I'm putting a pin on this. I will test it during cool weather, which is going to be next week. It's Melbourne, so next week it'll be winter here, and I'll have the chance to test it out and see what it's like. It's pleasant, NMT on this baby. All right, let me move on. Actually, there are people who are a big fan of this particular fragrance. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What is it that you love? Do you wear it in warmer weather, or is it more, as I mentioned, a cool weather fragrance, an evening fragrance? Actually, one last thing, I did test in the evening thinking that it was still too hot. It just, the way I would like to enjoy this, the weather wasn't quite supporting the fragrance. Bada bing, boom, boom, and moving on. All right, so hopefully you all have an awesome drink before you. I'm gonna have a small sip on my mate. Read my notes at the same time. All right. I mentioned last week, if you'd like to be a member of the channel, this is how you do it, super easy. The truth is you gotta go onto a desktop. I don't think it works off a phone. Hit the join button, $4 a month. I will send you something. And sometimes I like to throw in little surprises. And the surprise that I like to throw in, whoever wins today, you gotta be an Aussie though, look at this. Look at this golden deliciousness of greatness. These are my bees. Have a look at this. So I opened up my hive recently. I put together this, I filmed this because I want to use it for an upcoming video that I'm planning to do. And I want to show off the hive and the gloriousness that is this beautiful beehive. There's probably, just to give you, I get this question asked all the time, how many bees are there? There's about 30 to 40,000 bees that are inside that hive and all around me. The next question I get asked is, do I get nervous? The short answer is yes. With 30 to 40,000 bees, I try to stay as calm as possible. I try to be as nice. I sing to them too. I sing songs to the bees. Because if I, think about it, if I annoy 30,000 bees, no matter what suit I've got on, those girls will come and get me. Actually, have a look at this photo. They stung me, one of the girls stung me on the ankle. I'm like, come on. And had blown up like a balloon. Anyway, so that was a bit funny. So if you're a member of the channel this week, I'm about to do a raffle. And if you win, I will send you something. Tell me the fragrances that you love. As I said, I love testing. Testing is where I live. So, you know, I do this. Actually, talking about, sorry, one last thing. Pierre Guillaume, I ordered this. And if I can tell people, you guys need to just have a look at this. There's another layer underneath of this, okay? So that's his full collection. I wanted to experience the greatness that is Pierre Guillaume. Anyway, so I love testing. I love testing fragrances. So tell me what you love. I've got a whole bunch of beautiful samples. These are no decants. This is all legit from the company. And I will send it to you. If you're an Aussie, I'm also gonna send you this. Honey from NFC. Look at this. Oh, better start recording, hang on. Boom, 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 and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Look at this. All right, here we go. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna spin. Good luck, winners. Boom. Good luck, everyone. J-Bra. J-Bra, if you're an Aussie, you will, please DM me. Here's my handle. If you're an Aussie, I'll send you this. I can't send it international, just to give you a heads up. Customs will lock it down. Honey, especially raw honey like this is, there's no way it'll get into your country. But if you're an Aussie, yeah, I'll get that out. Now, if it just happens that J-Bra is not an Australian and I have to send this overseas, then I will hang on to this jar. I know that Kevin wants to do a meetup at Oligarch. I will raffle, it will be raffled at the Oligarch store. So anybody who wants to join us for that meetup at Oligarch, I'll bring that along. Somebody will have a chance to win it. Boom, bada boom. All right, so let me move on. All right, here we go. See if this works. Announcement time. All right. So there are two quick announcements that I'd like to do. One is KM Tour's official launch. So we did a soft launch just to promote the upcoming tour, which is happening in September this year. The official launch, new website, and some further announcements is happening on the Sunday, the 25th of February. So look out. Kevin and I will be creating an episode. We'll be talking a lot more about the upcoming tour that's happening in September, plus show off the new website and show you some of the plans. We've also going to be announcing the tours for 2025. We've had a few people who already said, you know, if you do one in 2025, we'd love to join you. Okay, well, happy to announce that something is already on the boil there. So look out for that episode that will come out on Sunday, the 25th. Now, just to let you know, there are 8 spots left. 8. So on this tour that's happening in September, there are 8 spots left. Jump on the website, the KM website. There's full details there, so you'll get a really good idea as to what we're planning to do. If you have further questions, email me. I'm getting a lot of emails coming through asking me some other questions on certain things. So if you want to know dietary requirements and I guess more, you know, where exactly do we meet, all that sort of stuff, send me an email. I'm more than happy to answer those questions for you. But again, only 8 spots left. After the 8th of, after we do the official launch, we will be boosting content and all the rest of all of these videos. So the idea is that we want to lock in these final 8 very quickly so that we can be on path for our tour in September, which is going to be off the hook. Wait till you see some of the stuff that we're lining up. Now, last announcement is the NFC Live Monday. So the live events is going to be the thing for the NFC channel this year. I tried to do it last year. It was a lot of hard work, well, because we were so busy and I couldn't really get my head around do it properly. So NFC Live will happen. The first one will occur on the 25th, Monday the 25th. It will be, or these are the times, around the world. So if you can join me for that, I would love that. The key thing about these lives is about discovering new things. So what I want to do is in real time, you tell me things that you're testing or things that I should be looking at. I have a lot of testers. I'll get them in advance also so that we can test live to the point. Won't even spray until we're live on that session. I want to invite 2 members. So if you're a member of the channel, 2 members will have a chance to be spotlighted. You will have center stage, so you'll be able to be connected. So we'll be able to see you and you can share about fragrances that you're enjoying and be part of that. I'm looking at my timer. I got to wrap this baby up. Announcements are done. So anyway, 25th, Monday, the 26th of February, NFC Live. It's going to happen. Let's do it. Boom. All right, moving on. Okie dokie. So let me talk about something that I am so in love with and very passionate about. Last week I talked about testing some new Xerjoffs. I'm happy to say that the order is on the way. So I have placed an order for some new Xerjoffs to be part of the collection. As you can see, there are, I think that's most of them. I think there's a few that I have at home, but that's the collection there. But I've got some fragrances in front of me that I want to talk to you about. And it's in relation to 2 questions that was asked by me by subscribers last week. One is Ali and the other one is Dominica. Both of them mentioned that they are new to, well, they'd like to explore Xerjoff further and would be nice to know where to commence that journey. So what I'm about to share with you today are fragrances that I am constantly, so if someone is new to Xerjoff, I'm constantly offering these as possible places to commence their journey. Whether you're a male or female, it doesn't matter. I bought these for me, all right? So these are all technically mine. Of course, my whole family uses them. Sandra uses these too. But I'll show you on the wheel where exactly they sit. So if you are, if you like a lot of florals in your fragrances, or these will resonate, or some of these will resonate. If you like more woods or things of that nature, or ambers, then I'll show you that. Before I go any further, I've got this bug in my throat. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to pull down the mic of the audio. Okay, there it is. A little drink. I'm trying to be so efficient. Captain Efficiency is my new name. Trying to move through things. I want to give a shout out to my financier. That was fireworks. That's fireworks right there. She is the bestest, and yeah, like I said before, order is on its way to the, I bought some used Xerjoffs, and with the blessing of my financier, I was able to tweak the original budget. And by tweaking, I'm talking about going up as opposed to going down. So, arigatou gozaimashita to my financier for her support. She is the bestest. Excuse me, sorry, bugs in my throat. All right, so let me commence with this. If you're brand new to Xerjoff, not sure where to start, let me begin the journey here. And I'm not saying that this is the first one you should buy, but from the wheel point of view, it's always good to start with the lighter molecule. So I'm going to start with the citrus. In this case, it is Torino 21. Now, each one of these, so there's going to be 6, each one of these are, for me, showstoppers. So I love using this. So these are, for me, pure magics. All of these fall in the pure magic category. I have done videos on, I think, most of these or all of them. So I will put you'll see a thumbnail up here if you want to know a little bit more, in more detail about these particular fragrances. But know that each one of these, whenever I show anybody, they are instantly going, oh my gosh, what is this? This is like absolute glorious magic. And I have to agree with you. Torino 21 is the first one, being a citrus. I discovered this probably about 2 years ago, and I just love wearing this fragrance. My son recently, Nelson, had 3 of these Xerjoffs. And the lids are awesome. They don't break, they bounce, but they don't break. So he was borrowing 3 of these, 3 of my Xerjoffs, and I went over last night to collect them from him. Now, his children weren't asleep yet. I could hear them upstairs. So I went up, and as soon as I walked into the bedroom, I smelt this glorious citrusy kind of green fragrance. And I said to the kids, so this is the little Spider-Man. He's probably about 4 going on to 5, and then his sister is 2 going on to 3. Anyway, I said, you guys smell amazing. And they, the little Spider-Man yelped back going, it's your perfume, well, we love it. And he goes, do you know which one it is? And I said, I think I know. And he goes, I'll show you. So he ran downstairs and it's the one in the blue bottle. So Torino 21 is what he was wearing, or what they were wearing. Amazing, just amazing. So what it is, see, and the funny thing is, on me, I'm getting a very citrusy, I can smell it now as I took that lid off, a very citrusy, but almost candy-like component to it, with the mintiness to it. Now I realize, and in smelling my 2 grandbabies, there is a greenness in here, but it's not as overt as Renaissance. So I find that Renaissance, another beautiful citrus, green fragrance, but it does have a very aromatic greenness to it. Whereas here, I never really discovered, or never realized it was so beautifully green. I always felt it was more citrus, minty in that sort of place. Torino 21, incredible, glorious summer fragrance. Works well any time of the, I say summer fragrance, but the truth is it works well any time of the year. But as a summer fragrance, it's spectacular. My OCD is freaking out because I want to put the lid on that, but I don't want to go out of the shot, so I'm going to keep moving forward. But Torino 21, if you're brand new, I would strongly recommend as a fantastic fragrance. Now, if you'd like your fragrances with a bit more fruit in them, I would recommend to you La Capitale. This is a very early Xerjoff that I bought. And what I loved about it, and I fell in love with it instantly, is that it has this beautiful strawberry peach opening. What I love about all the Xerjoffs is when they do fruits or fruit notes in their fragrances, they are not synthetic-like. They're not sort of, sometimes you find that there are sort of skincare, body care products that are not not very expensive. And the smell of those fruits, it makes your teeth chatter almost. Whereas I find that the fruit notes in these fragrances are just sublime, and it does start off very fruity, so very strawberry, very peach. It does settle down. Some may find that this is a little bit more feminine leaning. So men who are not overtly comfortable with accentuated fruit notes or floral notes, then this would not be one for you. But if you are, so men, women who do like the beautiful fruit notes, floral components to it, spectacular. On me, it smells amazing. I had I have a very good friend who's a Tongan man. He's a bro, he's a big, strong boy. And I was wearing this and he's like, bro, you smell good. And I said, do you think it's a little bit too feminine? And he's like, no, man, it smells good. Because I can smell some fruits, but it smells amazing. So it's just on how confident you are. If you're a man, how confident you are just to wear it. Just wear it. It's a glorious fragrance. But if as a woman, if you want something that's a little bit more fruity and floral components there, beautiful musk, all year round fragrance. This you can wear in summer. Glorious as a winter fragrance. La Capitale. A lot of people don't talk about it. I love it. Boom. All right, small drink. How's my time? Whew, flying, baby. Okay. The next one that I would put forward to you, so again, if you're not comfortable with florals, this would now definitely not be your thing, okay? So if you are, there's no redemption here, all right? So it's just, this is a glorious floral amber. If you love your deep, rich, sensual, creamy florals, then 400 is just, again, boom, here it is, pure magic. 400, I love wearing this, but this is a winter fragrance. There is no way that I would even attempt to wear this in summer. I think it would become, it would be, for me, way too heady. It's a very rich, very sensual. This is a very sophisticated, I love wearing this. With going to a meeting, in smelling it instantly, I saw myself in my suit. I saw myself going into a meeting. So this is glorious as a winter fragrance. It's part of the Join the Club collection, which means that we don't know what the notes are in the actual fragrance, other than what we can sort of decipher. And one thing that I feel is in here is ylang ylang. I feel like it's a very deep yellow floral fragrance. The white florals have been toned down. I think there are, I'm gonna say there's magnolia and more sort of those carnal, I was gonna say tuberose. Tuberose. This is just sexy, sexy, sexy. All right, so 400 is one of those fragrances that, let me go one more. All right, so I'm talking to the boys. Girls, this is an easy love. Boys, whenever I'm wearing any floral, and I'll take 400, because just then as I smelled it, it did bring me to a meeting that I had with a woman. And you don't, for me at least, I'm not wearing a fragrance to capture another woman's attention. All right, that's not the design. Having said that, though, it is nice to get a compliment from a woman to say, wow, your fragrance smells amazing. So when I wear 400, I get compliments from other women. I was in the meeting, as I mentioned to you, and the person that I was meeting was a woman. And she's like, I just love your fragrance. I just love this perfume. What are you wearing? We moved away from our conversation about the business that we were doing together. And we went into a full conversation on all things Xerjoff, all things 400, and what can you detect? Can you smell my arm? So boys, if you're comfortable to just wear a floral fragrance, you'll find that the women around you will actually detect that. I'm getting a dry sweat. Can you see that? Only because I'm getting nervous, because I'm like, because it's such a funny thing in that you don't wear perfumes just for compliments. I wear it for me. But having said that, dude, I love getting compliments. I do love getting compliments from other people. One thing I have noticed is that if I wear a floral fragrance, women tend to compliment the fragrance that I'm wearing. If I'm wearing a dry wood aromatic, then men are complimenting the fragrance that I'm wearing. So it's interesting. So if you want to get compliments, depending on which sex, which sort of a sex you want to attract, again, I'm getting, what do you say? This is not a dating channel. I'm going to move on. Otherwise, I'm going to get in hot water. I'm going to get in trouble. All right, no cuts. Moving on. What I'm trying to say is a fragrance, as I wipe sweat off me, a fragrance attracts other people, so it's for you, but also we wear fragrances because, I'm gonna just Just moving on. Okay, boom, 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 boom. The next one is Torino 22. So this is a newer one. I blind bought this, and I feel that I hit the bullseye when it comes to this fragrance here. I pointed because I wanted to finish what I was saying. I have bought Torino 23. I have read some comments saying that it's not that great, but it's a Xerjoff. How could it, for me, the words not that great and Xerjoff just don't live in the same universe. So we'll wait and see. But 22 was a blind buy, and I feel like I hit the bullseye. This is incredible. This is spectacular. This is one of my picks for 2023, one that I love. This is one that my son also was borrowing at the time. Every time I'd smell this boy, I would smell 22. And can you see, he has smashed. He has gone, getting a phone call. He has really, really enjoyed this fragrance. And I'm glad. This fragrance is just a smell to denim. So the key, or the glorious note in here is saffron. If you like Baccarat Rouge, I find that these days Baccarat Rouge or its clones and dupes, I can smell a lot in the air. So if you like that style, but you want to now have your own unique take, you know, to smell like, well, to have the same profile as everybody else, yeah, you know, yeah. I go back to where I was going, you know. Obviously, I'm a very vain person. Anyway, Torino 22. It has the sort of same place as a Baccarat Rouge because of the saffron, the amber components, the slight fruit notes that are in there. But it does it in its own unique way. Really spectacular. My son, as I mentioned, Nelson, has fallen in love with this. This is glorious. You'll see upcoming will be the new Baby What's Your Name with Grace and Hannah. You'll see that this comes up, and you'll see their response as they smell this particular fragrance. So Torino 22, if you haven't had a chance to test this out, this is a glorious fragrance. I think it falls into the woods area, but for me, this is woods with more amber components to it. So it has a warmth that is glorious. It works well in summer, works well in winter. Fantastic all year round fragrance. Big, big, big recommendation. My battery is about to die. I'm gonna stop for a second. And back. All right, so yeah, just to let you know, I picked up the cap, and my LCD was like, the whole time was like, you gotta get the cap, I'm like, relax, man, I'll get the cap. 22, magic, pure magic, really glorious fragrance. The next one also falls into a woods category, and this time around it moves more, in my opinion, to a gourmand. So there are more sweeter notes in here, and it's none other than the glorious NAXOS. I feel like this is a minimum requirement on everybody, that you just need to have NAXOS. It's one of those fragrances that just, you won't miss the mark. I find that NAXOS tends to be very popular amongst the boys. The men like to own and wear NAXOS. I find that with Torino 22, the women in my family all enjoy, I mean the men do too, but the women I would love to wear, in particular my wife Sandra loves wearing 22, whereas they don't really reach for NAXOS, whereas the boys in my family all reach for NAXOS. They all love this particular fragrance. And it could be that it's maybe the tobacco, the honey, or I don't know, there's something about it that the boys tend to sort of reach out for this a little bit more. Again, this is another one where I've had a few subscribers on the channel write to me and tell me that they were wearing this, and someone picked up. Actually, it's all the boys. So there are a few. I mean, I won't name names so that I don't want to embarrass anybody. But I've had some of the men write to me saying I was wearing NAXOS, and a woman said, "Oh my gosh, you smell so good." One of the women, and this is a true story. I won't say who it is. If you hear the story, person watching this, if you want to volunteer your name, feel free. But the woman said to him, "You smell so good, I could eat you." So gives you an idea of just the glorious scent profile that this particular fragrance has. NAXOS for me is a bare minimum. It's a classic. If you haven't come across this yet, this is one that is spectacular. Now the last one, small drink, and then I will finish. Guess what is the last one? For those who know me, well, I'm gonna say you already know what this baby is. Let me go one more, all right, before I reveal what it is. I opened up my hive. I've been selling, so I had some honey, so I normally take a lot of honey for myself. I leave a lot of honey for the girls, just to give you a heads up. That's their food over winter, so I don't want to deprive them of their nutrients and all the rest of it, so I just take enough for myself. And I sell the rest. So I had some jars, and I normally put a call out, and friends quickly sort of jump on board, and they say, yeah, give me some jars. Now, I had a good friend of mine, she came to the office, and as soon as she walked in, because she bought a whole bunch of honey, a whole bunch of jars, as soon as she walked in, she was like, man, it smells, she didn't say man, she goes, wow, smells great in here, okay? And I, curious to know, and I put out my arm, I said, is this what you're smelling? And her eyes lit up. There's no exaggeration. This is what happens. This is a true story. Her eyes lit up, and she's like, what is that? Tony IOMMI. Now, I debated whether to put Tony into the mix, because I have recommended it to some people, and they're like, no, I'm not so sure about this one. They're sort of umming and ahhing. What is magical about this is that it has incredible evolution. Where it begins, where it moves to, where it finally rests at all of these different places. The only part that makes people unsure is the fact that it has patchouli in the base. Patchouli, I've discovered more and more, is a fragrance note that not everybody resonates with. For me, I resonate with patchouli. I didn't realize I love patchouli as much as I love patchouli. To me, it's connected to deep memories as a young man, and I've tried to sort of pick out, why do I love the scent profile of patchouli? But it takes me back to when I was 18, 19 years old, and it's so rooted in beautiful memories that for me, patchouli takes me to these places. Now, the great thing about this fragrance is give it time, okay? So even those people who have said, no, this is not for me, have then returned going, actually, this fragrance is pretty spectacular. So the patchouli, if you're not comfortable with that, you do have to get used to it. It is a patchouli-based fragrance, so when Sergio Momo, the owner of Xerjoff, went to Tony IOMMI, the guitar legend, and said to him, what are some of the notes that you love, or what you want to associate to your particular fragrance? And patchouli was one of those, because it takes him back to 60 rockers, 60 and 70s, being a rock star. So that patchouli can be, at first it can be a little bit like what, but I promise you, you will fall in love with this. It's almost like Jedi style. I promise you, you will fall in love with this. You will fall in love with this. This is just the most incredible fragrance, and definitely one of those that needs to be in this particular lineup. Tony IOMMI, forget about it. It's a rock star fragrance in honor of the rock star himself. Boom, baby, there it is. I didn't do too bad. I was trying to keep it under 28 minutes. Didn't quite get there, but it's all right, it's all right. We're trying to keep things moving forward. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your time. I do appreciate all your comments. I will respond to every single one of them. So there's like I said, 100,000 comments. I'm going to be writing to everybody, 100,000 different comments. And more than just, love, heart, and thumbs up emoji, I will be writing comments to you guys in response to any questions that you may have for me. If you enjoyed this content and found it rewarding and something positive, I'd love you to subscribe, and I would also love you to share with one friend. If you could do that, it'd be a great help to me, and I know a massive boost to the channel. It would be awesome. Thank you guys. See you all on the next Maté Talk. Thanks everyone.